Hi, I'm Mo, and my spirit's still moving.
And I'm TJ, the iguana on your coffee table.
And this is
It's still new to us, damn it!
Welcome to It's Soon to Us, damn it. I'm Mo, he's TJ, he just said, and we just said. We're here to watch every movie ever made to be invited to parties.
One at a time.
Yes.
One movie at a time, one party at a time.
One party after another at a time.
Whoa.
Wow.
Party supreme.
I know. Yours was better than mine. I think yours better.
Well, yours was no slouch itself, so
Thank you.
don't
Thank
feel
you.
bad. Well, yes, we are here.
Going another episode
Yep.
of our show.
We've come one movie closer to our goal of watching every movie ever made.
Yes.
Have there been any movies made since, or did we actually catch up a little bit this time on the count?
I think there's been one movie made, maybe.
Shit.
I think one.
So
Yeah,
we did
no.
nothing. We made no progress.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We're still going to talk about the one movie we did watch.
True. But first, before we talk about one movie, we must enter the banter zone. So glad we're
If you're
doing
still
this.
listening.
This is so great.
We're in our 30s.
We're not 30s. We're doing this. This is amazing.
Yes. If you're new to this, the Banter Zone is exactly what it sounds like. It's two of us, longtime friends, doing natural human bantering.
Yes.
Yes.
The human beings.
It's what humans do.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yes. I can begin the banter time. The
Go
banter
ahead,
zone,
TJ.
rather.
Yes.
Sure. So this is where we describe what we've been up to. And for a lot of our listeners in the United States, you're probably going through something similar. The weather is awful.
Yeah.
This is what I call hunkering down weather. This is weather where I don't want to do anything aside from A, read a book, B, drink bourbon and pretend I'm McCready from The Thing, or C, just, I guess, watch movies, but I haven't done that. What the hell have I been doing? Oh, I know what I've been doing. I downloaded a bunch of old Star Wars games, like prequel games, which is like, it unlocked a real core memory, like just memories of mine of like what Star Wars as a franchise was like before the prequels.
What are like prequel games? I didn't even know those existed.
Oh, there were tons of them. My dad had these too, X-Wing and TIE Fighter they're called. And they're flight simulators.
Okay.
Where you play as the Rebels for one, and then the Empire is the other. And there's all these missions that you go out. And I remember playing them all the time as a kid on the family computer and sucking. And now, 30 years later, I'm playing them on my own computer and sucking. This is back before video games would give you like that tutorial where they hold your hand through everything.
Yeah.
These are straight up flight simulators. Every key on your keypad does something. It's intense, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, and really the Star Wars franchise had an unmatched aura before the prequels.
That's true.
Not to bag on the prequels or anything like that, but there was just a different mystique about the franchise, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the originals are coming back, like without the edits and everything like that, because I don't know if that's coming or
now
not.
that would be fantastic.
I heard that's a rumor happening that they're like later, maybe not this year, but next year. There's gonna be like I don't know when there are 2 more years to like the 40th anniversary, right, or like 50th anniversary.
Oh
of
yeah,
Star
I
Wars?
guess so. 77.
So Disney might release the original trilogies as they originally were back in 1977.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like beating a dead horse to make fun of the special editions, but there really is. It's very bizarre to me that George Lucas wants to keep those from people.
Yeah, I think they either made a deal with him or they got his permission. Because I think one of the stipulations of the deal that he made was like, you cannot revert back to the original Star Wars.
Right,
You must show my version.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm done bagging on George Lucas. He does deserve praise in certain respects, and in other respects, I think he just, you know, it's his franchise. He can do with it what he wants. But man, those original, those original versions, and the ones I remember watching when I was very young, there's just something so awesome about practical effects in those specifically. Because
Yeah.
then you look at like sci-fi movies of the 80s and 90s, and they still look. Star Wars still looked better.
True.
You know, and what he was able to do with industrial light and magic was unparalleled, and still ages very well, I
Yeah.
think.
I believe there's a documentary on either Amazon or Disney Plus that's actually about industrial light and magic and talks about just like how they did all these things, and actually I heard it's really good because I think they started with Star Wars, but but they did like mostly every other big budget Hollywood film in the past like 30 years or something like that.
Yeah.
If you think about it, yeah. So
Yeah, no, I bet that would be incredible.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Hopefully that happens. You know, maybe you can make it like an a la carte, like which version you want of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Kind of.
My guess
customize
either
it.
they're gonna release it in theaters, the original ones. They're gonna bring them back in theaters, and then there's gonna be like some Blu-ray 4K that's like the original trilogy in its original like setting or something like that. And there's gonna be like they release that. So that's gonna be like $250, and then yeah,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna buy a bunch of it.
It would do gangbusters, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I believe the last known copies of the original version of Star Wars, all three movies, are still the VHS tapes released in the
Probably.
90s.
Oh, yeah,
those are
definitely.
the last ones. 'cause-
Definitely.
Yeah,
And even the home releases before the special editions, he made some tweaks.
yeah,
So it's always kind of just been like an evolution thing, or you know, he's always been tampering with it a little bit.
yeah,
Whatever. But my point is, it's just playing these games and like revisiting that. It's the original three movies had a really good way of, or just a unique aura. They showed they had kind of a less is more type of thing, right? Where Obi-Wan Kenobi would just mention the Clone Wars and it was never elaborated on.
yeah.
In the prequels and the special editions, so much was going on that I feel like you almost lose some of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
I don't know. Speaking of Star Wars video games, the only ones I know is that one where you're Anakin and you're in the race.
The pod race.
The pod race game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
That's where Star Wars video games end with me.
That's
it.
fine.
That's all I
That's
know.
there's a really good video. Oh my gosh, I'll send it to you. But it was about the avalanche of merchandise from Episode 1.
I've seen
Have you
that
seen that video? It's
I've seen it,
fantastic.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They had 4 versions of the novelization. They just unhinged.
I remember those Pepsi cans, I think.
Yes.
Because, yeah, we had them, and then I remember going to Pizza Hut. They had, like,
Yep.
a little flap where you can collect, I think, like, Pog things of, like, the characters and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I remember that.
Yep.
Um,
Taco Bell and KFC had, like, different toys. Like, they were
Yeah.
kind of similar, but, yeah, you can only get certain ones at certain... I had, like, this, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like a snow globe type thing, but it was, like, Coruscant, the planet, right?
Yeah.
And there's a button on it that opens up, and inside there's Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fighting with Darth Maul. It's, like, a little mechanized thing that, like... I don't know. It's like a wind-up toy, basically. And Taco Bell, I think, had the one where it's just Qui-Gon and Darth Maul on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And I always wanted that one. I never got it.
There's promoting more better shows than what we're doing right now. But if you ever get a chance, there's a YouTube show called The George Lucas Talk Show, where a comedian named Connor Ratliff, a very funny guy, who was on the Chris Gethard Show. He did a podcast called what was it, Bad Eyes or something, or Death Eyes or something
Okay.
like that, where he got a role for Saving Private Ryan, the Steven Spielberg film, but he got fired because Steven Spielberg said he has dead eyes.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that goes on like his whole journey of how he got fired and like everybody else who was in the project and stuff like that. And and he actually talked to Tom Hanks, so that was cool.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that is
but
really
anyway, about that, he plays George Lucas in the show. His sidekick is Watto, played by Griffin Newman, and Watto has a little Taco Bell cup that explains his origins.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you give George Lucas an original copy of Star Wars or any of the Star Wars sequels for the original trilogy, any mint copy you have, he'll just destroy it.
Oh.
Now, I mean destroy it. I mean, like, in front of you. He'll bring it on stage and just smash it because he's like, this is not my vision. As the character George Lucas, he'll just destroy it. It's just like,
Jeez.
yeah.
That's pretty funny. Though,
Yeah,
actually.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the whole thing. It's like, it's a really interesting question. Like, should the creator of the whole thing, like, have the final say, right? I mean, in a way, why not? But in another way, does ownership eventually transfer to the public
Yeah.
that made it a phenomenon?
Well, George Lucas, okay, so he directed the first, is like directorship count as authorship, do you think? Or do you think it counts because he had the story and he wrote it? And
it's
like,
so
he had
tough
an idea?
with movies because
Yeah.
it's not like a book where he can write all the content and a publisher just
Yeah,
makes
did he
it
write
physical.
all of Star Wars or just
Oh,
like
heck no.
no.
He came up with the big picture story stuff, which he's great at.
Yeah.
The prequels have a great overarching story, and the sequels have none of that.
Yeah.
No, George Lucas is a great architect in terms of the big picture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He needs help with the minutia. And if you look at like the dialogue between A New Hope, the very original Star Wars,
Yeah.
and Empire Strikes Back, there's a notable difference in terms of the Empire Strikes Back, which was written, by other parties, like the script. It just the dialogue feels more refined, more cinematic, more dramatic.
Yeah.
Whereas it works though for the original Star Wars because it's all buoyed by everything else. It's buoyed by the effects, the music, by all means, and it comes across more as that Saturday morning serial. So it works.
Yeah.
It works there. But no, that was never his strength. He didn't ever. I think he wrote the novelization for the first one as well, or at least his name's on it.
Okay.
But the only one he directed of those three was the first.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it
I guess
shows.
technically he didn't. He probably created Star Wars, but he owns it. I mean, he probably brought up the idea to the studios and stuff like that, and he was like,
So it's tough. It's an interesting question he asked, though, because authorship, in this case, is it the big picture guy? I would say probably, because from there, it's like the outline, right?
Yeah.
The outline kind of is the blueprint, and then the minutia gets refined by the actual script writers.
yeah,
Again, it's something that I'm done hating on George Lucas. I think the Disney sequels, even though I'm not of the camp that believes that the Disney sequels vindicate the prequels, they at least confirmed to me I was not wrong about liking the story of the prequels, but just not being a fan of the execution.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
If people like them, God bless. I got nothing.
I don't remember any of them. I saw them when I was like 5 years old. So
It just where the original trilogy was so rich visually because of the practical effects, these ones are so distracting because of all the computer effects. You
Yeah.
could do anything you wanted.
did I tell you that I missed like the last seconds of Attack of the Clones because I had to use the bathroom?
No.
I remember that. Attack of the Clones is the second one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you missed the secret
I
wedding?
missed it. I missed it when his arm got cut off because I had to use the bathroom, and my brother's friend Kevin brought me to the bathroom, and they wouldn't let us back in.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so because it was like it's over. I'm like okay, and then
That sucks.
I didn't see the end. I was like okay.
Dang, you missed the secret wedding of Anakin and Padme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadness.
Wonder how your life would have changed if you'd seen that then and there.
I don't know. You go to fastback.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Aside from those Star Wars games, I've been reading, again, still wrapping up that Hyperion Canto series by Dan Simmons. Finished book 3 and started book 4. Am really liking it and highly recommend it as like a far future sci-fi thing if you're interested in something different, something that hasn't been adapted yet. Very good. Very good. And then, honestly, other than that, I watched The New Naked Gun. Also very good.
Very
A lot of fun.
Yeah, fantastic.
I watched the movie we'll be talking about shortly, and then because another media company better than this, Red Letter Media, finally touched on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I said, what the hell, I'm going to go back and watch some Deep Space Nine, which is always the Star Trek franchise that I feel like conflicted about saying is possibly my favorite, just because...
A lot of people do say that Deep Space Nine is a favorite.
I do
so.
think that it is the most... I do think that it's aged the best because it went, a lot of it's very episodic still, but then it got very serialized.
Yeah.
With the
so this
Dominion
one,
War
okay.
stuff.
So the difference between this and like the new generation, or the next generation. I
Oh,
should
it's
say.
huge.
Okay, so the next generation is just like kind of like Monster of the Week episodes or like singularity episodes, unless you have a two-parter.
But that's where I feel conflicted. Star
Okay.
Trek is
Yeah.
about trekking the stars.
Yeah.
It's about reaching out to new life, and this takes place on a stationary.
And this has
Space
this
station.
like episodic, like season-long episodic arcs where like
Yeah.
things change, like everything, things change.
First, like 4 seasons, first 3.5 maybe are pretty much just standard, episodic TV, and
Yeah.
then they get into the Dominion War stuff, which becomes long serialized stuff, and it is very good. It's
Oh, yeah.
strong stuff.
Yeah.
And there are some seriously like mature themes for Star Trek, like attempted genocide,
Yeah.
and just war, like the whole like gray area of just like where does a terrorist, where does a freedom fighter become a terrorist or
Yeah.
whatever, just
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I know. I
Very
think
good.
I asked you a Star Wars. Star Wars rankings. Do you have a Star Trek rankings of the
In
shows?
terms of the shows, it's so hard because like,
Yeah.
geez, the run of Next Generation, DS9, and Voyager,
Yeah.
all I'll say is that's the peak for me,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And from there, it's tough for me to rank.
Yeah.
I do kind of...
Because so the original series, then there's Next Gen, then Deep Space Nine was before
Yes.
Voyager.
Yes. And then
Yeah,
Voyager,
not chronologically in like the timeline, but like
correct.
TV shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was what was the one with Scott Bakula? That
Enterprise.
was Enterprise.
Yes, and that's a prequel series.
And that's a prequel series.
Which is also very overlooked. And
is that the prequel to the original Star
yes,
Trek? Okay.
It's the very start of Starfleet.
Okay,
It's
and
the
now
very
we
first
have all
Enterprise.
these new ones that
Which I haven't been able to keep up with, unfortunately.
people are very mixed about it and stuff like that. I heard Picard season 3. You can just watch Picard season 3. You don't have to watch.
I
Season
haven't
1 and
gotten
2.
around to it yet, but I did. Season 1 I thought was disappointing. Season 2 got a lot better. I have to watch 3. I've heard it's very good.
Yeah, I heard you don't have to watch season 1 and 2.
I
Just watch
probably
season
don't.
3. Yeah.
Strange New Worlds I started and I've seen like 5 episodes and I do enjoy them.
Yeah,
But
I have only seen Lower Decks, which I think is the best one out of all the new ones.
I've heard Lower Decks is fantastic.
It is fantastic. It's funny. It's like it has like little Easter eggs and everything, but they it's not like there's like, oh, look at that. It's like it's part of the story, and also it's celebrated because it's by a guy who loves Star Trek, and and the characters are amazing and hilarious, and they're voiced by Tandy Newman. I believe I think I say her name, not Tandy Newman. Tandy Newton.
Okay.
And also the guy who plays in The Boys, Huey, Jack Quaid.
Oh, Jack Quaid, yeah.
Jack Quaid's in it. Noel Wells is in it. Eugene Cardell's in it. Jerry O'Connell's in it.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Fantastic voice cast. If I said her name wrong, I apologize. She plays Lieutenant Beckett, or Ensign Beckett.
Tawny Newsome.
Tawny Newsome, of course, yes. Hilarious comedian on All Invite, also great for comedy, Bang Bang. But yeah, Tawny Newsome, hilarious. But that's my favorite. So
I know I do got to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got canceled because that's what happens to good animated shows. They just get canceled after 5 seasons.
That's a shame.
Yes, but the way they ended it was amazing, and hopefully opens the door for more animated shows.
Enterprise got canceled early after 5 seasons, and its ending was terrible. It was bad.
That's bad.
That's okay, though.
So for you, it would go like tie for first, Next Gen, Voyager, then and Deep Space Nine, and then it would go like original, and then Enterprise.
In terms of quality, I mean Enterprise. Enterprise is a very underappreciated show.
Wow.
I love the original series, but the fact of the matter is the entirety of its final season, season 3, is not good because basically it got its, as was the style of the time, ask Rod Serling, the show got its budget slashed each season, basically.
Yeah.
And so by the end of season 3, they were kind of doing recycled stuff or just, it kind of flamed out a little bit. In fact, I think it's the season premiere of season 3. It's called Spock's Brain. It's an infamous episode where literally these aliens like freeze the Enterprise crew and steal Spock's brain.
Wow.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Is it like old horror movie style where like his brain's in a jar and he can talk and stuff like that?
Yes, I believe.
Wow.
So. It's been a long time since I watched it, but I remember thinking this is
amazing.
This is so damn stupid.
Yeah.
But I do love the original series, especially seasons 1 and 2. But I do think Enterprise is more consistently quality.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's like obviously none of them would have existed without the original.
Yeah.
But I think what the foundation that Gene Roddenberry set.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Next Gen didn't get good until after he was off the show.
Yeah,
after he passed away, unfortunately.
You can definitely tell he was using old scripts and stuff like that. And
yes.
Especially I believe it was maybe like the 5th episode where they go to this planet and then the lady who left the show in the first season, I forget her name.
Tasha Yar.
Tasha Yar.
Oh, yeah.
She had to fight another woman for
Denise
a man.
Crosby, yeah.
She had to fight another woman for the man.
Code of Honor,
and the Code of Honor is like, this is definitely from 1969. You can definitely tell. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like just so behind the times
Yeah.
with regards to like race representation.
Yeah.
There's the episode where the Enterprise gets like infected with a virus and everyone's acting drunk. Like that's straight out of the Next Gen or the original series.
The Ferengi are the people who love money, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, they can tell capitalists. They can tell like after they were introduced, it was just like, okay, we should not make them this like seem very gnome type and maybe a little bit anti-Semitic. I'm not sure. But,
I mean, yeah, you can definitely. Well, the funny thing was they framed them. They thought that they would be the new Klingons.
Yeah, they were barbarians. I forgot they were like barbaric during the first time, and then they became like
Deep Space Nine.
You became capitalism.
Them.
Yes.
Perfect.
Maybe I was wrong with the anti-Semitic view during that time because I just remember now like the episodes like they're like savages or something. They're not like they don't.
Yeah, they make them out to be animalistic.
And then when Deep Space Nine comes out, they're like, oh, we care about money, profits, and that's all.
Right, you already have. It's Star Trek. You already have dozens of species that are warrior species. I love the idea of in this, in the Federation's world where money is no longer a thing. It's essentially a big socialist You know,
That's
it's
true.
essentially a big socialist society. So having the Ferengi be the antithesis.
I remember this one part in Lower Decks. The Jack Quaid's character, I forget his name, but he is on a Ferengi, on the Ferengi planet or Ferengi casino, and he's just winning. What's his name? Boimler. His name's Boimler. Yeah. Boimler's winning all this money in a casino, on a Ferengi casino, and they're mad. They're like, "How is he winning so much?" And at the very end of the episode, he's just like, he just leaves, and it's like, "Oh, you can just take my money." We're like, "We don't care about that. We like money is useless to us."
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah. That's great. Okay. Anything else, TJ?
I got nothing else to report, though. Thank you for letting me wax poetic about Star Trek and Star
No
Wars.
problem. Next time we talk about Star Trek, we'll talk about the movies. We'll talk about your rankings of those too.
I would love to. That'd be
Yes.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Your turn,
My
then.
turn. My turn. Enter banter time. Let's start with movies. Besides the movie we watched, we watched What Up, Doc, which I
Oh,
consider to be, I think, a perfect movie.
is
in
it
my ends.
Bogdanovich?
That's Peter Bogdanovich. It's just a perfect comedy movie. It's basically a live action cartoon, and it's amazing. Amazing. Barbra Streisand's great in it. So is every other actor in it. It's just a live action cartoon, and if you haven't seen it, may suggest you watch it because I don't know. Because I listened to a podcast called Scott Hasn't Seen, which stole our idea. Where Scott Ackerman watches movies he's never seen before. So saying about that, but he watched it. He said that it's a little bit dated, but the things in it are like so amazing that it's still good. You know.
Well, you and I know how to like watch a movie and put ourselves into that.
Yeah,
You know.
but I don't know, I love it. It's an amazing movie. It's like one of the perfect movies. It's like, if it's on, I can watch it whenever. It's like that. Probably Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in London,
Yeah.
and Grosse Point Blank. You know, there's a movie I can watch whenever. I also watched a movie called Vivacious Woman, or Vivacious Lady. Sorry, Vivacious Lady, starring Ginger Rogers and Jimmy Stewart, which was amazing. It was great. They had amazing chemistry. This is the only movie they've ever been in, which is sad because they have amazing chemistry. Basically, how Jimmy Stewart is a professor. Jimmy Stewart is a professor in a small town of a small college. His father is the president of the college, and his grandfather was the president of the college, and he will be the future president of the college.
Do you know who my father is? He's the president of this college.
Oh, Mary. Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Anyway, he is out one night with a friend, and his friend goes out drinking, and then he meets a showgirl played by Ginger Rogers, and they fall in love and get married, and now they have to explain to the uppity, stuffy college parents and stuff like that, high society parents, like, I married a showgirl or something like that. And it's actually really cute and really hilarious, and I love it. And the chemistry is off the charts.
I don't care what you think, Dad. She may be a vivacious lady, but she's my vivacious lady
I
now.
really wish that was the line. The whole movie is basically them just trying to have sex for the first time, because every time they do it, they always get interrupted. And the very ending is just like them having sex.
Wow.
They're in a train car, and it's like the movie ends is just like they pull down the bed, and it's like I think like you hear like a train noise or something, or like a gong, and it's just like they have sex.
They just show a montage of trains going into
Yeah.
tunnels.
That'd be great. I think I don't know, I forget, but yeah, it was great. Make sure you check it out. And then I also watched. Let's see, what else did I watch? I watched Marty Supreme, which is right now my front runner for Best Picture of the Year. I have not seen Sinners yet, but once I do, maybe I'll change. But it was amazing. It was amazing. It was great. I had a great time. I went to the theaters. I got myself a Coke Zero. I got a big old bucket of fresh popcorn, and then I got some little crunchy, those little crunch things, crunch nuggets, or the crunch candy
Bunch
bar.
of Crunch? Do they have those still?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's the crunch bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like those that little in small.
Yeah,
little,
they Bunch of Crunch.
Bunch
I'm
of
thinking
Crunch,
of Butterfinger BBs. They don't have
Yeah,
those.
they don't have
anymore.
those anymore.
Anyway, go on.
And I put in my popcorn for the first time. This combo. It was like, oh, this is amazing. And I
Sounds
watched
real good.
Marty Supreme. I'm like, this is amazing. I won't give away any spoilers, but like his acting is amazing. They use 80 songs to like for the whole movie. It's like 80 synthesizers for the score and stuff. Amazing.
Nice.
It really makes you feel like Timothy Chalamet plays a total asshole, but you totally feel for him for the whole movie, the very end of the movie, and it's just like amazing. Once again, one of the Shafty brothers, I forget his name, not Benny, but the other one, Jake Shafty, I believe his name is.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but he is looking it up now, and we'll see. He directed it. He did an amazing job. Josh. Josh Shafty. Yeah. You know Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank? You ever heard that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in it,
in
that's
the
right.
movie.
Yeah.
And he did a great job.
Good, yeah.
He did an amazing job.
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary.
Right?
He did a great job. He did a great job. That's almost a Trump impression. Almost.
It was.
Yeah. And then there's a viral clip on YouTube of the New York Knicks. You ever seen those like sidewalk videos when New York Knicks fans go crazy?
Oh,
And they're like, "Fuck Trae Young."
Yeah.
Fuck Trae Young. Well, one of those guys is in the movie. After the Knicks won, like I would beat Trae Young or something. I forget. The guy's just like. Guy goes like, "Yo, Trae Young looks like my dad's dick. I'm not saying I saw my dad's dick, but he looks like it." And that got him the part in the movie.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That is an incredibly Safdie brother thing.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
do, yeah.
And he was great in it, and yeah. So definitely go check out Marley Supreme. Right now it's 4-1 once again, 4-1 for Best Picture for me. I did love One Battle After Another. Maybe it didn't stick with me so much because I hyped it up so much in my mind. I got to rewatch it again. But it was great. I'm still never gonna forget. What's his name? Sean Gunn's Little Walk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sean Penn's Little Walk.
yeah,
Sean Penn's Little
yeah.
Walk.
He did have a great walk.
Never gonna forget that.
that was good.
That's great.
What the heck? Did you see that ad, by the way, before the NFC Championship game? It was a spoof. It was a parody of One Battle After Another, and it's a Rams fan trying desperately to get into the stadium. It's one of the scenes where Leo makes a phone call.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
You see that commercial? That was
Yeah.
pretty funny. I
sure,
thought
yeah.
that was actually really well done.
Mhm.
But sorry to cut you off.
It's fine. That's it movie-wise. Let's see. TV show-wise, nothing much. I'm still watching reruns of Murder, She Wrote. Just random ones. I don't know.
How is it?
It's still good. If I need something on the background, I'll just put it on. So that's my thing. But I haven't been watching any TV series. Music-wise, I'm getting... Like, once you turn 30s, I'm getting into Phil Collins. Listening to some Neil Diamond.
Nice.
Doing a lot of very hardcore heavy metal music. So I'm loving that. There's a band called Apologies. Oh, no, Adolescence, I believe. No, Architecture. Sorry, Architecture. Architecture. It's amazing. Go check them out. The guy screams like he's a vampire. They have great, amazing guitar solos.
All right.
So it's heavy metal and easy listening music of the 70s. That's how it's going.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Book-wise, I am reading a book called The Sleeping Father, which is about a father who is in a coma, and his ex-wife and his kids have to deal with it, and how they deal with it, and stuff like that. It's actually really good. There's another podcast that is better than ours called The Dead Pilot Society, where comedy writers would write pilots for companies, for like TV and stuff, and they get bought, but they would never get produced. And this was one of them. They wrote 2 episodes for this, The Sleeping Father, and I would say it's probably the best ones in the whole podcast, and it's hilarious. And so I was like, I got to read the book because it's based off the book.
Yeah.
And now I'm reading it, and it's living up to the hype. So it's actually really good. So
It would be a little funny if, like, the book was told through the father's point of view. So, like, there's, like, a few chapters, like, describing how he gets into the coma, and then, like, acts, and then, like, the middle, like, 70% of the book is just blank pages. And then
Yeah.
the last, like, 10% is him waking up.
oh yeah. In the movie, in the TV show they made, well, not made, but wrote. Unfortunately, never got picked up. It actually goes into like his mind during the coma, but in this one it doesn't. So yeah, so that's a little bit different, but it's still amazing. I'm still reading this comic strip books, this comic strips. If you ever hear Foxtrot, TJ, the comic strip,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's probably the best one ever.
Better than Calvin and Hobbes?
Not better than Calvin Hobbes, but like I don't know. I can never get attached to Calvin Hobbes. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't hate it, like I own a book, but it's not one of my exceptions, like.
My dad was a big fan and had all the collections, and I read them growing up.
Did he have the sticker with Calvin's peeing on the TV set?
No, he actively hates those. And so do I.
So does Bill
actually.
Watterson, because he did not approve
I
of
am
those.
sure that he does.
Yeah.
Well, he should.
Yeah.
Imagine you make something about just like your childhood, like innocence and just wanting to just be a kid and, use your imagination, and people are like pissing on Honda logos with
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know why Calvin got chosen for that, but yeah.
I don't know.
I
They
think it's
probably thought like Bart Simpson was done so much, and like Menace,
100%.
like Dennis the Menace type of character. Like Calvin does that, even though Calvin's mischief is fun and innocent, but his is
It's like soaking the babysitter with water balloons.
something like that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Robot Chicken parody of that? That's amazing.
It's so good. And it's
I wonder
so
if
devastating.
Bill Watterson's seen that. I think I haven't heard anything bad about that from him. So maybe he actually watched it and liked it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you have to lean into the dark humor from time to time.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
And it's not like you have idiots, you know, putting a decal of it on their
Yeah, that's
car.
true. Yeah.
That one is brutal, though.
But yeah, but on all Foxtrot, the rankings of mine go Foxtrot 1, 2, Sally 4th. This is great. Still going on. 3, Baby Blues. 4, Nancy. Oh man, Nancy. It's so. They got a new artist now. She is doing an amazing job on it. Go check that out. That's still going great. And 5 is one called Wallace the Brave, which is amazing. So yeah. So when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna do everything different because I'm original. So like people love comics, I'm gonna like comic strips.
It's actually a really unique art form.
Yeah.
Think about it. You have to tell these really short form stories,
That's true.
you know, and that takes a special talent for sure.
It does, yeah.
Cool.
A lot of them are not good.
I
But
should read more of them.
worst one, Crankshaft. That one sucks.
Never heard of it.
Don't listen to it. There's one called Funky Wiener Bean or something
Yes,
like
Funky
that.
Winkerbean.
That sucks. It's
I only
terrible.
know it because of a really offhand Simpsons joke
Yeah.
where they see a parade and Marge, you know, there's like the floats, and
Yeah.
Marge goes, "Look, kids, it's Funky Winkerbean," and it shows a Funky Winkerbean float. And my whole life, I thought it was just a fake, made-up, goofy character
Nope.
for The Simpsons.
It's made by the same guy who makes Crankshaft, and they're both bad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I have to check out some comic strips one of these days.
Yeah. Never. I've read Garfield, but never really a huge fan of
Yeah,
Jim
I've read a
Davis and his
few.
Garfield.
Read a few of those.
I do love the Garfield without Garfield comics. Whereas this
Those are funny.
the what's his name?
John.
John is this a maniac?
Those are really funny, actually.
I have seen the animated movies, the ones that came in the 2000s, because I was a child during that time and I needed something to watch. But I heard like the Halloween specials and stuff like that are fun, so go check those out. I wish like comic strips were still big enough where they can get like their own specials and stuff, because it's been so long I can think of one.
The
I think
the Dilbert cartoon. I mean,
that was actually good.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, until he became a
Yeah, I know.
nutcase, and then he
Yeah.
died like last
Yeah,
week.
rest in peace, Scott Adams. But
Yeah,
I mean,
he
you
became
and,
a nutcase,
you
and
and
then
your controversial legacy.
yeah, definitely.
Didn't
that was-
like, oh God, I'm not gonna get political, but I'm pretty sure like he reached out to some powerful politicians of today, and
Yeah.
like somehow was convinced by like our Secretary of Health that cancer medicine wouldn't work or something. This is all uncorroborated.
He died of,
People
I think,
do
pretty sure out of
research.
cancer too, or something.
Right.
Like that. Yeah.
I think he like didn't seek normal treatment or
Yeah.
something. I could have reread.
He was against vaccines. He was like, I think he started out libertarian and this became
That's such a bizarre mindset to me.
yeah. He was like one of those guys, like the pillow guy, like the My Pillow
Yeah.
guy. Like he's one of those guys.
The My Pillow guy had some things in common with our main protagonist in this movie.
True, yeah. The My Pillow guy. They actually listened to a whole.
I got a lucky crack
I
pipe.
listened to a whole podcast about the My Pillow guy, and he actually is a liar, and he lied about his whole life, and he's a degenerate gambler and alcoholic. So
Crackhead, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah, true, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
He's a bad pillow salesman.
He's a bad pillow salesman. I actually, my family bought one of his pillows one time. We bought it.
Really?
This was before like the whole political side.
Oh, sure.
I would say it was okay.
No judgment. You know
wasn't
what?
the best pillow, but
I'm a full proponent of, unless they're like, well, there's a line I'll draw, but like at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit. Like if your product's good and it's worth my money, I'll buy your fucking product.
yeah,
Typically.
it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't like the best pillow ever.
Okay.
But
Well, there
it's
you
just
go.
a
Then I
pillow.
wouldn't buy
It's
it.
just a pillow.
Right. You can get any other pillow.
Yeah, it's just a pillow.
A lot of people are, they hear the brand and they get, they're marks for the brand.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway.
Turns out, comic strips can actually make good TV shows because you got Peanuts, the TV specials. The Dilbert
Yeah.
cartoon was actually really funny. Had a lot of great people in it. Chris Elliott was in it. Who else was in it? The guy who plays Marty on the on Home Alone movies, or whatever his name was. Joe Pesci's side character.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy's in it. Yeah, it's actually really funny. Baby Blues, the one I mentioned, had
Daniel Stern was
Daniel
Dilbert,
Stern. Yeah. Baby Blues had a very short one sitcom in WB that actually was really funny. It was kind of different from the comic strip, but it actually was funny. Yeah, it's been a while since like comic strips has been in the zeitgeist where like it's got a TV show or something, or like even a special like that.
Yeah.
I gotta watch the Kathy specials because I just want to see how bad they are. I'll be taking this out.
Hey, I'm sure you can find them somewhere.
Another podcast that's better than ours, Jordan Jesse Go, has a show that's called Octua, with them as Kathy characters saying Octua.
Oh my God.
I really want that shirt. It's fantastic. Jordan Morris, writer of Archie comics, also. And Jesse Thorne does NPR Bullseye. So, but it's just a funny show. But I love it. But that's mostly all I've been doing.
Nothing wrong with any of
Nothing
that.
wrong with any of that.
And what else can you do? It's literally 6 degrees right
6
now.
degrees outside.
We're not being hyperbolic here.
Well, it's kind of. Well, the world's gone to shit for the past 10 years now. But now it's like kind of reaching, not an apex, but towards the apex, where pretty soon all the government's going to come rushing into our homes and try to deport us. So.
They might shut down tomorrow, too. You see that?
Oh, yeah, because they're trying to fund the ETA and. Yeah, you might know they shut down.
You know, though, at least the Pistons and Red Wings are good again.
Yeah, I say. Say this, though, guys. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Bad stuff's going to happen. And we
Protect
can't.
your neighbors
Protect
and
your
protect your
neighbors.
family.
We can't really do anything about it, unfortunately. I mean, we're just two Smells hosting the podcast and stuff like that. But when this is all over, let's hope. I don't know. Not a lot of bad stuff has happened. I don't know. That's the best we can hope for, I guess. But yeah.
Just hope that cooler heads prevail and that common sense comes back somehow.
Yeah. Hopefully it does. But
yeah.
But for right now, listen to our stupid podcast to help you just deal with it somehow. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So now it's time to exit the banter zone. We gotta find a way to sync that up to end it exactly on time. No?
No, we don't.
No? Okay, fine. It's gonna be like that forever now.
Yes.
Okay, it's now time to talk about our movie. And this week's movie is Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Released in 2009, directed by Werner Herzog of Fitzcarraldo fame and Grizzly Man, a.k.a. the movie where man got eaten by a bear.
I'm terrified to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I know that he
Do they show it? Do they show?
No. There's no video footage of Timothy Treadwell's death, but there's audio footage because he had a camera that was left rolling, and in the movie, Werner Herzog listens to it in front of the woman. I don't even know who she is. She may have been a friend or relative of his girlfriend. She has the audio footage or the audio recording. Werner Herzog listens to it on a headphones, immediately takes them off after I've seen that scene, and he says, "Destroy this. Don't ever listen to this." He said it's one of the most distressing things he's ever heard. It's like a
It's one
super
of the
dark.
most distressing things. No, that's Scottish. I'm doing a Scottish.
Yeah.
I got a German accent.
It is one of the most disturbing things I've ever listened to.
That's it. Yeah.
No, it's
Unfortunately, we cannot do the Paul F. Tompkins impression of Werner Herzog justice, but
no, God,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even because of that. I'm hesitant to watch that movie itself. I don't know. It's a sad story, and bears, low key. I mean, goddamn. Bears.
yeah, don't fuck with bears.
Bears are the apex. I mean, they're just a killing machine.
Yeah,
The thing will climb a tree to get you.
true.
Crazy. Sorry, go on.
Written by William Finkelstein, or Finkelstein. He's mostly a TV writer. He wrote for Law and Order and Cop Rock, the famous failure TV show.
Oh yeah.
Where it's a cop musical.
We've talked about this, but you've talked about
Yeah.
this before.
Never seen an episode, but it was, the guy it was made by Steven Bochco, who made all these famous cop TV shows like NYPD Blue and Hill Street Blues and stuff like that. And this was, he had the Blanche to do whatever he wanted back in the 90s, so it was just Cop Rock, and that's it.
I'll
And
be honest
yeah.
with you. 3/4 the way through this movie, Nicolas Cage could have busted out in song, and I would have been along for the ride.
True.
I would have been all with it.
Yeah. Starring Nicolas Cage, as you just mentioned, of Valley Girl, which gives an amazing performance in. So one of my favorite insults of all time. Oh man, I really forgot it, but it's great. It's just he dresses like an usher, and it's just I don't know, just go watch it. Watch the Valley Girl insult, and it's amazing. And then The Wicker Man. The bees!
Not the
Not
bees.
the bees! Not the bees! One of the many movies I could have just chosen from. I could have chosen a movie that we never heard of. That's probably the worst one. Eva Mendes of The Other Guys and The Spirit. The first really bad movie I think I've ever seen that I did not enjoy. I've seen The Master of Disguise and stuff. When I was a kid, I liked that stuff, so
yeah.
it was enjoyable to me. But in 2008, it was the height of wasn't
Sin
the height
City.
height of Sin City,
Yeah.
and my cousin who brought us the movie sometimes was like, okay, we'll go see The Spirit. We saw The Spirit. And this was the first time I've seen a movie. It's this sucks. And it was this is awful.
Yeah, it's because it's directed by Frank Miller.
Yeah. This is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looked I remember the trailer for that looked awesome. And
Yeah, because people thought this is going to be Sin City again. And it was this is terrible.
Frank Miller didn't direct Sin City, right? He
No.
wrote for them.
Barbara
obviously.
Rodriguez directed it.
Yes, that's right.
Sin
That's
City.
right.
Yeah. And I believe Samuel Jackson was a Nazi, or Scarlett Johansson was a Nazi.
Yeah, Scarlett.
And there were these stupid henchmen that were like idiots, and it was terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful. The guy who plays Harvey from Suits is the main character. So, it's
Oh
awesome.
yeah. That's right.
Val Kilmer of Heat, which my dad watched yesterday, 3-4 hours. It was
Oh, cool.
can't go wrong with Heat. She's got a great ass.
I've actually never seen it. I've
Oh,
seen that
my
scene though.
God.
I've seen that scene, and I do know that the gunfight in the end is
My favorite review is just the height of the powers of like the top guys in Hollywood. It's like we're gonna make this movie, and it's like
I got to. I love I've never seen a bad Michael Mann movie.
Yeah. You seen Miami Vice? Because that's like a divisive.
Oh,
he
actually,
was,
no, I haven't.
Like
Seen
on a podcast, it was like 40-year-old men love that movie. Other people may not love that movie, but it's got to come back. People love Miami Vice. So yeah.
that eventually.
Yeah. Heat and the Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Which if you watch the Val Kilmer documentary on Amazon, it actually goes into that and how everybody hated the experience
I'm
because
sure they did.
the director was fired and Val Kilmer was like, how can we act like this? And because the guy who replaced the original director was like, studio was like, just get it done, get going. And then also you had Marlon Brando be 1990s Marlon Brando, where he did not give a shit at all and just drank the whole time. Speaking of Island Dr. Moreau, I believe actually a actor in this film is also in that movie, besides Val Kilmer. I believe the name's like not Vuka Salt, but Vuka
Oh yeah, Feruza Balk.
Volk.
Yeah,
who was
she's
in The Return of Oz and The Craft.
And Waterboy.
And Waterboy,
Yeah.
we go into her a little bit later, but
Yeah.
she's also in that movie, I believe. She plays the pig girl, I believe, who falls in love with, I don't know. I've never seen The Island of Dr. Moreau. It's the very famous document. There's a documentary about it, about how the director who originally got fired just stayed in the woods the whole time they were shooting and tried to sabotage the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and also Alvin Exhibit Joyner, aka Exhibit from Pimp My Ride fame,
That's right.
and Hoodwinked and the Country Bears. You remember the Country Bears, TJ?
Yes, I do.
Yes, another attempt. It was the first attempt at make a ride from Disney a movie. I think it was after the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, maybe, or before it. I forget.
I'm sure it was after. I feel like it's got to be after because that's such a movie
Let's see.
executive
If
thing to do.
I remember the Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one came out in 2003. I think that came out in 2002 with the Country Bears. So
Really? So
yes.
what? Oh, I'm surprised.
So I think
guessed-
they attempted like, okay, we're gonna make the Country Bears into its own movie. That failed, and I was like, we got the Pirates of the Caribbean, which is an action adventure comedy, which has succeeded immensely. So now in like 2003, my friend Dalton had a Pirates of the Caribbean party. So yes,
It really is a miracle that they took a ride like that and made it into such a successful movie franchise.
yeah. Well, if you think about it, like I think about it like the Lego movie. What are Legos? Legos are just bricks. They have no story. You can make your own story. So. If you're gonna have to do something IP, at least now you can do whatever you want. I mean, I believe the ride the Pirates of the Caribbean has like a small story, like because it's is it a roller coaster or is it like one of those like motion rides where you just go through it and it's like you see like pirates and stuff. Like it's a small world.
I think it's more a motion ride.
Yeah.
I've never actually ridden it.
Yeah.
I've never been to I've been to Disneyland, never World though.
I'm afraid to go there.
Are
I'm
you?
afraid I'll be abducted.
I'm more afraid of
Not a bite. I'd be scared by Disney people there and know that. Smile. Like, oh god.
I'm just at this point like I can't with the price of it. Just not
It's too
interested.
expensive,
Yeah.
and the fast pass doesn't work anymore. So
Just not
the lines
interested,
are
yeah.
too long. I don't really like roller coasters and stuff like that, but I do love people who podcast about it. So
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah. So that's Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. TJ, you chose this film. Why don't you go into why you chose this film? Well, I think I'll go into a little bit of how I know this film.
Yes.
There's a YouTube video of one of the better compilations of Nicolas Cage freakout moments in films, and two of the scenes in here are in it, and the two of the most memorable ones, and that's how I know about this movie. So that's how I know about this, TJ. TJ, what made you choose this movie, and how did you know about this movie?
Well, I told the story on a few episodes ago, sometime last season anyway, about how just searching for something to watch on streaming, and I kept seeing this movie called Bad Lieutenant, and it's got Harvey Keitel pointing a gun at the
Abel Ferrara, guy who made
Abel
Miss
Ferrara.
45 and the King of New York.
Yep, and just the poster of it, it's like all yellow with red lettering, and it just looks like, it's obviously from early 90s, so it looks like it's a Tarantino movie. And I think, okay, you know what, this is highly rated. I see it's got, the streaming service has the star rating. It's got high ratings. I'll give it a shot. It's probably, probably Tarantino-esque. No. It is an NC-17 rated character study of a very depraved individual with a lot of authority, a lot
Yeah.
of power, using that power to shake down people for drugs, sexual favors, all amidst him having to solve a really, really, really brutal, no other way to say it, a rape of a nun.
Yeah.
And it's an incredibly fucking dark story. It's
Yeah.
a very good movie. It's one that, like, I needed a shower after, and I don't think I'll ever watch again, just because it's so just so unsettling to see someone act so depraved. But I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Or I just thought it was really well done. Harvey Keitel gives an acting masterclass, and so then I was like kind of just reading about its production after, as I like to do after I watch a movie, and then I see Werner Herzog made a spiritual successor was starring Nicolas Cage and Eva Mendes. I'd never heard of this when it came out. I would have been 18, 19. I had no idea.
2009, I would have been like in 5th grade, I think.
Okay,
Something
yeah.
like that.
I
Yeah.
had no idea that there was it's not a sequel. He said
Okay,
it's not
great.
a sequel, it's not a remake, but basically a spiritual successor. I could not believe that such a thing existed, and I needed to see it for myself.
Yeah.
So that was how I learned about this.
Wow.
Yeah. Harrowing story.
Harrowing story. Yes, definitely. I guess should we just get into it? Okay, so first I just want to say a little fun thing. Abel Ferrara also in Marty Supreme.
No way.
Yeah, plays the character in that. Also does a great job. And also, the killing of a nun or the rape of a nun also goes back to Miss 45 because it's also about a nun who gets sexually assaulted or raped in the streets of New York and then becomes a killer of justice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it goes back to that. Yeah. Abel Ferrara is a very man who likes dark stories of New York and the gritty side of it. So
There's a right way to do it, and I
Yeah.
think that Bad Lieutenant was a really good example of that.
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes you have to confront people with the dark side of things, and it doesn't mean you have to necessarily want to. Again, it's not like I'm ever going to put that movie on as a comfort thing or background thing, but it's a wonderfully made movie, and it makes you feel something. That's
Yeah.
for damn sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. You said it was a spiritual sequel. I think Werner Herzog would say this has nothing to do with the original besides the plot a little bit. That's the cop that goes crazy on drugs, and that's it. So,
There are a lot of similarities
Yeah.
just in terms of the behavior, the
Sure.
lieutenant's behavior.
Yeah.
But no, there's
yeah.
definitely differences.
So this is my first Werner Herzog. You've seen Aguayo, the
Yes.
what's it called? Aguayo,
it's actually, I think, Agira. It's
Aguirre.
pronounced Wrath of God.
Wrath of God, with starring his famous friend Klaus Kinski, who is
Yes.
a perfectly normal human being and good guy.
Yes.
Done nothing wrong. So
Yeah.
you've seen a little bit of.
I've seen that. I've seen his version of Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And I've seen. Oh my gosh, what's the other one that I've seen?
Is it Fitzcarraldo? Have you seen Fitzcarraldo?
No, but I really want to.
Yeah.
Actually, is it just those two? It might actually be just those two, but I really want to see Fitzcarraldo, and I really want to see My Best Fiend, which is about his friendship or
with Klaus
partnership
Kinski.
with Klaus
Yeah.
Kinski. That one I definitely want to see. So, okay, maybe those are the only ones.
So I have no idea what Werner Herzog's style is. Now, without like spoiling anything, do you think that this is like you've only seen 2 movies? I'm not gonna say you're an expert in this, but compared to the 2 movies you've seen, is this like typical of a Werner Herzog movie? This movie?
No, but to be fair, the 2 movies I've seen were from the 70s.
That's true.
So it's a completely different era, completely different look. What I will say is, though, his presence here is felt. Just the
Yeah.
presence of a competent director is very much felt in
True.
this. So, again, that's hard for me to say, and I'm sorry for the non-answer, basically.
Yeah.
But I was delighted to have known that Werner Herzog made a Bad
Yeah.
Lieutenant movie.
True. Because this movie starts out, you think like well, it was a home release movie. It was a DVD release because it came into. Because I think I remember the commercials.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh.
Well, I think it was released in theaters, but actually it does because it has a budget of $25 million, but box office of 10.6. But I
Probably a
don't remember
limited
it.
thing.
But it's shot like a home action movie.
Yes.
It was just come out in 2009, and when I first saw it, I was like, my experience with the movie, like, this is a weird movie. Like, this is like The Room, but with
100%.
with more competence.
Well said.
This is like that,
I can guarantee you if I
but
had
still
watched
weird
this,
as The Room. You know,
Yes.
still has the same feeling.
I can guarantee you, and I promise I didn't look up reviews or anything like that, but knowing myself and just how general audiences probably were back then, I can guarantee you that nobody probably really, general audience-wise, liked this when it came out, or thought it was a good movie or anything.
Well,
because
Oh.
I think it's intentionally made bad in certain aspects. Just hammy.
I think so. I mean, that's what like a lot of the positive reviews are. Like this guy made sloppy action movie. It was just like all the
It
beats
has
are
to be
there.
intentional.
I think so.
Because it gradually gets that way.
That's
I do
true.
think at the beginning, it's kind of to mirror his spiral, is my
Yeah.
theory. Anyway, sorry.
My
go on.
impressions of when I was watching, I was like, okay, it's not that crazy yet. Because in the beginning, I was like, okay, he's crazy. He's a drug fueled everything and stuff like that. But like, because when I was remembering the video of him going crazy in all those movies, like this scene that pops up is him threatening the old people. And I thought this is gonna be like the whole movie's gonna be like that. That happens one time, and then it like goes away. And a lot of the times you expect him, oh, he's gonna freak out now, but then he just stops, and like the scene cuts to another scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really surprised about that. Then when it's like when the movie's halfway done, then the weird shit starts happening, like the really weird shit.
Right.
Even though we have a bunch of weird shit in this whole movie from start to finish, when we introduced to Exhibit's lawyer, that was one of the creepiest scenes ever. Where it's just like he's smiling, and it's like, if you have anything to say to my partner, to my client, you gotta say it to me, or something like that. The iguana scene where he sees iguanas for some reason, the iguanas are here. Yeah, this basically like I said, this is just The Room, but better budget and by somewhat I don't know, like.
Oh no, make no mistake. Tommy Wiseau does not realize, I don't think, how bad his movies are,
Yeah.
or just how they're perceived as bad.
But I'm wondering if because okay, so back in 1998, you know how Gus Van Sant made
Psycho?
Psycho a shot by shot remake of Psycho.
Yes.
Except for like one or two scenes or something like that.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh, I made that movie bad on purpose to show that you can't remake a movie or something like that." Like people think like, "Oh, he just made this movie because you showed like for fun or something like that." I'm like, is that just an excuse because he made a bad movie and they can just be like, "Oh, that's just my humor," or something like that. Or is that just like you made a bad movie and now you're using this excuse to be like, "Oh, I did this on purpose."
Right.
But I don't like I can see it because like Nicolas Cage, like he's acts insane in this movie and stuff like that. But so does everybody. Everybody acts insane in this whole fucking movie. There's Jennifer Connelly's in this fucking movie. I didn't even know that. And she's just like
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge is in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know that. And it was just
Yeah.
like she's having sex with his father, and the father is trying to get back on the straight and narrow, and she's just drinking beers.
Sun up to sundown, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Eva Mendes plays a prostitute who lives in a high-rise building somehow. I guess
she's got high-end clients. I
high-end
think,
clients,
yeah.
and like there's so many plot lines going on at once. I can't keep focused, and they all somehow get wrapped up very neatly at the very
Make no
end.
mistake, that is all by design.
It's all by design.
I wholeheartedly believe that.
Okay.
Werner Herzog is a competent director, and I do believe that the narrative of this is intentionally to like reflect just the the chaos that is this guy's life.
Yeah.
So
Because I would say, okay, so Nicolas Cage does play like the insane version of Nicolas Cage, but this is what the character is. He's a drug-fueled, coked-out maniac who's a police officer.
which
who
is
we
terrifying.
don't know what's going to happen, and we're just like, he plays it perfectly. I mean, yeah, the scenes where he freaks out, I never really laughed during the movie. It's not like every time he freaked out, I laughed or anything like that. I'm like, he's playing the role, because if you, like, I've seen a video of like, Nicolas Cage, like, describe how he acts and stuff. It's like, I fit what the character needs to be, and I become that. And that's what he did. He became a coked out, drug-fueled maniac who was a cop. So
He's just wearing his gun in his
his guns just in his
waistband.
pants
Yep.
and stuff like that, and like Val Kilmer just sews up, and then you can't really like we could like dissect this movie like scene by scene, but it's just gonna be us just like then this happens and then this happens and then
Well, right.
this happens and then
Right.
and the girl who plays in The Water Boy shows up for one scene, and we expect her to be a main character in the movie. She's not, but she involved in a major plot line in the film.
Well, the thing is, I think that they all the supporting characters play a role in like reflecting just how far gone he's gotten.
Yeah,
So, you mentioned Val Kilmer, who is his partner in the beginning.
Yeah.
Before Nicolas Cage, gets promoted to lieutenant, and Val Kilmer stays at sergeant. So anytime you see the sergeant Val Kilmer, you know he's kind of the more grounded of the two, because as the
I
movie
guess
goes
so.
on,
I guess.
until the end, kind of he
Yeah.
snaps at the very end, but. Snapped is a little bit.
Yeah, because in the
relative
beginning,
this.
okay, in the very beginning, it's doing like.
Do you want me to read the synopsis?
Yeah, actually read the synopsis. I've totally forgot about that. TJ,
That's okay. No, we're it's like jazz.
Yeah, it's like jazz.
But no, if we're gonna go scene by scene, let me at least lay the
Yes,
foundation.
TJ, what the fuck is this movie about?
Set in the damp, decaying aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, this film follows Terrence McDonough, a New Orleans police detective who begins the story with a rare act of heroism, rescuing a prisoner from a flooding jail cell. However, this good deed leads him with a permanent, agonizing back pain. To cope, McDonough develops a debilitating addiction to Vicodin and cocaine and quickly spirals into depravity and corruption. Despite his drug-induced stupor and erratic behavior, which includes shaking down clubgoers for their drugs and hallucinating iguanas on coffee tables, McDonough is promoted to lieutenant for his act of heroism.